Well, good morning, everyone. How you all doing? Whittler Dave. I hope everybody's going to have a blessed day. I know I am. Getting ready to start. Look, the ball in the box. It started. It's just, it's just there. Yeah, and it's moving. It's just a fun little project. Get out there and try one. But I've been working on this show and everything, getting it ready and I just been busier than, I don't know what. I'm going to show you the angel. There's the angel. Can you see her, folks? There she is. Isn't she pretty? I love the old nail holes. I left them into her. There's one up into the wing. One right back in here. Yeah. This folk art. There's the angel. Yeah, she's pretty. Yeah. But anywho, I want to get back here on the horse and everything. But yeah, I've just been busy. Not, this show here is going to be a little different this year, so I'm not totally set up. Because, if you know, last year I had surgery and I was really off for a while and back and forth. And I tried to build and make, and usually I start building a lot earlier than I did this year. But hey, there is worse people in this world than I am. You know that. We all need to think about that. Say a prayer for everyone. Appreciate that. But anywho, just out here, just getting ready to go outside. It's rained again last night, thank gosh, because that way our plants and our gardens can get water. We've had a strange summer. And you imagine it's already almost August. Lord have mercy. Well, we're going to play around with the horse. I told you that. I have my folk art horse. I've had some wonderful people in the shop the last couple days. People that have bought from me and I've known for over 7 years. And their daughter was in here. And she's a young artist and showed me some of her work. I thought she was phenomenal. I glued to her. Anybody that's an artist, I don't care if you draw, sew, paint, glue popsicle sticks together. I draw to artists. So she did a cut on the scroll saw yesterday, and she cut out helped me cut out a little mouse because I gave her a knife, an X-Acto knife. Usually what I start a lot of my youngsters out because I don't know how far they're going to take it. And it's not time to buy a knife like this. So I showed her some things and she's going to go back home and try carving a little mouse and stuff like that. Like I told her, she's a young artist and she's the dot inside of a box. And like I tell everybody, don't be afraid to kick them walls down and just try everything in art. Don't be afraid. Try the ball in the box. Just try everything. But I've been carving pumpkins and making. I designed this pumpkin that has a witch hat on it and a cat and actually some ghosts. We are going into eventually we're going to be going into our fall, and then I'm getting ready to go check a show out. Before I ever do a show, I like to go as a spectator. And there's a big one, it's about an hour from my house or so. And I've never done it. And it's in Wares Valley. And so I'm going to go check this show out for next year. I want to walk around and get the feel of it and talk to people that have done it for a while. And just, is it going to be worth the time and the money, because this is a high dollar show. This show's not going to be cheap to get in. So when you spend money for shows and stuff, you've already lost money. So that's the first thing you got to do when you make a sale is try to get some of your money back, if not all. The good thing is I don't have to get a motel because I can drive back home. It's only about an hour. Depends on traffic, we'll just put it that way. I could cut through the National Forest and get back to Gatlinburg that way if I wanted to. From that area. It wouldn't be that bad to do. I do know a shortcut. When you live here, you gotta know how to get through the mountains because of the tourist. The back roads. That's the trick. But anyway, I'm going to check it out. It's an October show. And then there is a Christmas show, too, around November. So I want to check it out. Because I like doing Christmas. I like making Christmas stuff. And I've always have. And so I'm going to be checking that show out. And then, of course, actually, we got the carving show coming up. And I'm looking forward to that because I get to see some people. And, you know, I'm amongst people like we are. That's what I'm saying. You know, if you're a builder, a carver, I'm amongst people like that. You know, I don't do carving shows anymore. I just don't. I'd rather go as a spectator, meet people. And yeah, you know, I always carry a knife. I mean, I'm a knife carver, and I always got a bag of goodies out there in the truck. So, you know, I have been to them. They go, "Hey, Whittler Dave, you know, you mind doing a simple carving in front for all the people?" And yeah, I'll sit down and do it. You know, I will. I'm not going to deny, you know, that. And then, of course, I'm always carrying the mice. I mean, Lord have mercy, you know. I carry these little things constantly, because you never know. I'm known for the mice down here in Tennessee. People, I gave out mice the other day, little small baby ones and stuff. I'm a very giving man. But so I'm gonna check out these couple shows this year and determine, you know, Where's Valley Show. I really am thinking about doing it because it's got tons of crafters and stuff like that, and I would fit. I would. And then the other thing I got to do this year, I didn't get to do it last year because like I said, I had surgery, and you know I had to put my money towards surgery. I'm going to buy a new show tent, you know, a canvas tent that can. Do you know I've had mine back when I'm where I'm originally from? It's probably, it could be over 20 some years old now, and it's time to change. So I'm actually looking at one that is kind of fancy. It would have logos on it. It would have my name, my business, stuff like that, my website. It may even have that, hey, come follow me at YouTube, you know? I don't know yet. I mean, you know, you can get anything if you have a lot of money. Money, if money is no object, you can do anything. Well, I don't have that. Money is an object to me, and it's when you get into your 60s and you don't make money like you used to, you know. So, starving artist. I tell people, you DavePoston@gmail.com. Come here. Look me up on Google Maps like a lot of people do. You know, you can buy here. Very simple. I had another, and my signs are working because they're out right now, and people that sat across the street, this big condo, they seen me, and they came and bought, and they bought from Lara. Lara sold jewelry yesterday. So, they did buy from her. She's actually sold twice. So that really that's good because I invested into my wife. She wanted to do it, and she didn't really have the extra money to do it. So, you know, yes, she's my other half, and I put all the money up to get her started. So, and she likes doing it. That's the thing. My love and passion is, you see it. Carving, building, designing. That's just what I do. Oh, I should show you. I'll show it to you next time. I'll have it out here. I'll show you some tikis. The people that came the other day, he likes tikis and stuff, and he finds it fascinating. So I I did bring out an ultimate tiki that I don't show anybody hardly at all. It's quite expensive. It would be very hard to fold. I'd have to have somebody holding the camera because it's an extreme tiki. And that is my love and passion. It's carving Polynesian. But he asked me a question. Do I replicate the original tikis that that you see out in the books or out throughout the United States? If you go to Alaska or something. No. That's their tikis. That's their style. That's their Polynesian. I don't do that. Everything I do comes right out of my nog. Yep. Comes right out of my noggy. And just me. So when you see one of mine, and 90% of my tikis, I'd say 98% of my tikis are signature. That means I don't do them again. There's not a twin. We'll just put it that way. I don't know. Oh, we're just rounding the horse and little folk art. This is a simple little carving. But, just like the angel. The angel, you don't have to put a face. It speaks for itself. The whole carving just speaks. Look how I fluted the dress. Can you see the flutes? How I come up here and carved? It's got flutes in it. It's flowing with the wind. You gotta use nagi, and even the back. It's got flutes into the back of it. It just looks like she's standing there and the wind's blowing and just, she's breathing. She's alive. I took a piece of wood that's over 100 years old and put it back to service because, like I said, I pull barns down, and you've heard me say this again. A barn was built for a reason. Hay, tractor, whatever. Hang tobacco in back years ago. We used to hang tobacco in a lot of our barns. But it was built for a reason. So when they get bad, put it back in use. I make art out of it. I give it new life. So it breathes. It's beauty. It's old. It's seasoned. Yep. That's its mane. See, you gotta take your time with something like this because there's no blueprints and there's, it's just I'm seeing things in my nog right now and using my computer as my brain, and I'm thinking of horses, and I was raised around horses and how it flows. And this is a whimsical one. So what's nice about this is you don't have to be authentic 100%. You can put a little pizzazz in it, a little love, a little whatever, just some pizzazz. That's the trick. Be you. Step out of the box. Like I tell people, don't worry about it. Don't carve for people, but carve for you. Carve what's in your soul, what's in your heart, how you feel. That's it. Just like the other day, I had a guy says, well, you could get more followers if you would do this and do this and do this. I'm sorry, folks. When I was young, I call that light switch carving. And now, and I left it when I was in my early 20s. Made good money being told what to carve and, what this and how to dress. And that's just not life to me. Just not life. Everybody has something they like to do. I've heard me say this, and it's just not life. And now I don't worry about it anymore. You know, I told you, I'm in my 60s. I don't worry about it. I just have fun. And the biggest thing I do, I get on here and talk to you folks. That's what I love to do. You know, I was setting up a minute ago to get outside. I thought, oh, wait a minute, I gotta do a video for you folks. It's been a minute. You know? You realize I don't have no production team, and I don't have nothing like that, and fancy cameras, and, you know, lighting, and no microphones on my shirt, nothing like that. I just got Dave. Oh, Whittler Dave. Now see, what I'm seeing is, I'll draw it for you folks. I'm seeing where she just flows right down like this, and she's flowing towards this right here. Right here. That's what I'm seeing. She's going to come up, and she's going to have this, she's going to flow. She's like a whoop. She's flowing. So take that knife and just lay her down and roll her in. Yeah, I had some other people I hadn't seen in 5 years come here. They're really good friends of ours. They're moving out of Louisville, Kentucky, across the bridge to Santa Claus, Indiana. So they're moving there. I hadn't seen them in a long time. The kids growed up. Lord, I mean, I didn't even know their son when he walked into the shop at first. You know, I'm old-fashioned, and I thought it was somebody new coming up to visit me, and I stuck my hand out like a man should and to shake your hand. But I hadn't seen them in 5 years. And I hadn't seen their daughter in 5 years. And she's doing something what I always did want to do. She's studying abroad. I think she was studying in Greece, and she's overseas and studying stuff like that. And, art is one of her passions too. That's why I glued to her when she was really young. And she's in college studying law and art and stuff like that. Smart young lady. You know, very smart. That was one of my dreams, to go to Europe and chase the art wagon over there. You know, never got to do it. Never did. Wanted to see all the Vatican and all that, all the beautiful hand carvings. I've seen them in books and stuff like that, but seeing them in books is one thing, but actually standing there would just be phenomenal. In Switzerland and stuff like that, and just it was a dream. It was. Yep. Oh, we're just playing. Very simple. Okay, the tail is way too thick. Got a little, what we call a line crack there. But I can fix that. It's cedar. When you work with cedar, even though it's old, I opened it up. And now she's got a line crack. Well, that's nothing. Hang on folks, let me grab something here. Is it up? Yeah. See, this is another one. I do this one quite a bit. You know, that's another one I'm getting ready to do. And see, it had a line crack right there. So, I fixed it. You know, you're going to be a woodworker? You got to learn to don't cry over spilled milk and just clean it up and fix it. Because it's going to happen being a carver, a builder, designer. You're going to have places that's like, wow. So, I'll fix it when we get done with this video. I'll fix it. I'm not worried about it. It doesn't scare me one bit. Been doing this too long to let it scare me. Get to talk to my friend in Alaska. He's doing quite good. And he's still afraid to modify his knife handles. He's got a few of them. He said, I just don't like how the handles are. And I keep telling him, I said, well, sand them, cut some of the handle off. What have you got to do? if it hurts your hand, when that knife goes in your hand and it's cramping and it just doesn't fit good, sand this wood, shape it. It's just wood. Shape that handle, make it fit your hand. Because if you are uncomfortable, literally uncomfortable using a knife, well, the knife is worthless. You know, it may have the world's sharpest blade, but if it hurts your hand, I've got plenty of tools that I've reshaped. Yes, I have. So I told him the other day when he called me, we were chit-chatting, and he lives Fairbanks, Alaska. And he called me and said he's gathering up his carving tools, and we got on that subject about the handle, and he goes, well, I ain't no just do it. Can't mess it up. It's just wood. Take off a little at a time. Don't get aggressive. Just a little. Get it where it's fitting the old hand. By golly, I've done a bunch of them. Sometimes I pick up a knife and boom. Just absolutely wow. It just fits. Okay, so I'm wanting to taper this way. The tail is not flat. And we'll see how much of a line crack that I have when I carve down. You know, you never know. Sometimes you'll carve them right out. You know? I ain't worried about it. There's that white that I like. Yeah. This got some white in it. Right through here. Represents love. You know, I've got 2 more pumpkins to finish up today. These big, well, one's a pumpkin with a witch hat on it and a black hat. I love doing Halloween. I always did. Halloween is the month that you can paint yourself purple. And who cares? You know it's going into winter, and I'm not a winter person. My friend Brian, he's counting the days down. Yep. He is counting the days down. He can't wait, and I can. Into that grain right there. And she's cutting it. There's a knot kind of right there, so that's really lovely on a knife. But hey, you just have to re-strop, and you hit that little knot area where the old limb used to be. I'll open up some of this and expose where that little oopsie is, and I'll fix that oopsie. Yep, 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 yep. Whoopsie. Whoop, whoop. Mm-hmm. Just the old horky. That's all it is. Mm-hmm. 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 See, it's flaring up. See, the tail's it's going to flare up like this a little bit. Yep. We are flaring the tail. I hear the church bells. They're ringing. It's 8 bells. 8 o'clock. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Just the old Horky. Nothing special. I don't know if I'm going to cut hair into this. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. It hasn't talked to me. I love that knot there, even though it's hard on my knives. See that knot right there? That's going to be pretty. You know? That is. And of course, this is the tenon. This will set down in the wood. So you have to create a shoulder right here. I do that. It's just much easier to hook it to something. Especially when you have it this shallow right here. You try to drive a screw up in here or a dial or something, you can split it. Even though if you drill it, you can still split. And it's not a very strong joint. This tenon here, it's part of the wood already. It's part of the original wood. So I just cut a square hole in a board, set it, glue it, and then I fasten it through the board. And see, I've just created a little shoulder right there. So when it slips on that piece of wood, it'll set. I'll do that all the way around. And just a tenon. You know, very simple joinery. Let's do a little bit more swooping on the back side. Okay, this square right here. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. There's some of these square lines, and then when you look at it, you can start seeing more things that you need to do. It's getting it more symmetrical, stuff like that. You know, the back is not where you show it. You're going to show the front naturally, but still, you got to put love all the way around. Yes, you do. Well, wanted to get on here and show you the ball in the cage, and it was done. And definitely show you the angel. Everything. Need to get off here. We're running the video. Now we are. Let's get you up here. Oh, mercy. Woo! Yeah, this stuff. The little folk are horsey. I love folk art. I love old wood. The wood's got a story and a history to it. You know, there's love here. It was built for a reason and everything. Oh yeah, another little fat gnome. I can't get away from these. I love doing them. So just another fat guy, all hacked out with a hatchet first. Just simple, 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 simple. And like I said, I'm going to show you it again. The beautiful angel. There it is. Well, anywho, just want to say thank you all. I appreciate and love everyone that's been subscribing, pushing the notification button. That does help me out. We are building this channel. DavePoston@gmail.com. If you want to send me pictures of your work, I would love to see it. Any personal thing you want to ask me, that's be the way to ask me. Anywho, if you come to Tennessee and you're around the Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg area, get on Google Maps, type in Whittler Dave. That's going to bring you up the information to my house. And you are welcome. You are 100% welcome. Contact me through that way if you're here. Come and see me. But anywho, just want to say thank you, appreciate and love everyone. And Whittler Dave will just talk to you later. And you all have a blessed day.